Hey ghouls, what's up? It's me, your demon, Ygraine. Um, I am one of the contributors here at Ghouls Magazine. I am also a podcaster. My podcast is What a Scream, where I discuss horror movies, of course, with special guests every week. I am also a pin-up girl and a burlesquer, and I have recently started getting into horror journalism as well, of course. So how I first got into horror, I was always into gothic literature. I knew the story of Dracula from like age 6. I was always obsessed with true crime and serial killers, so I'd always be taking out books from the library that were about serial killers or witches or demons, to the point where the librarian had to call my mom and be like, hey, do you know what your daughter's bringing out of the library? Um, so yeah, and then of course everyone's gateway drug is Tim Burton films. So Beetlejuice, Edward Scissorhands, Nightmare Before Christmas. And then I didn't actually start watching horror films because I wasn't allowed until I was quite late on, so maybe about 13, 14. Um, and it was because the horror channel came on satellite TV and I used to sneak up late at night and watch it. I'm pretty sure one of the first full horror films I ever saw was like the Toolbox Murders or something like that. So yeah, and then began my absolute obsession with horror films. Um, so my favorite subgenre is possession, demonic, or religious horror. I was brought up in a super Catholic culture here in Ireland, and it always felt like a bit of a rebellion against like Catholic indoctrination, even. Um, and I just love the folklore behind it. I love everything. I just think it's, no matter how bad the film is, I will always enjoy a good demonic possession. My favorite film, of course, then is The Exorcist. It is my favorite film, hands down, of all time. I can watch it. I watch it like at least 3 times a year. Um, I loved it because it was the ultimate middle finger to Catholicism. Even though a lot of people think it is pro-Catholic, it's not when you really get to the bones of it. You know, it's got masturbation, it's got a priest committing suicide, it has a lot of swearing, it has divorce in it, which, you know, wasn't legal here in Ireland till like the late 80s. So for me, watching The Exorcist is always an act of rebellion against a culture that I had been brought up in, and I'm all about rebelling. Um, and of course, I love all the special effects as well. I just think it still has the ability to freak me out. And it's a film that myself and my two best friends bond over. We have a little Exorcist club going. So if you would like to check me out, find me on social media. I am at what_scream on Twitter. And then I am on Instagram and Facebook at What a Scream Podcast. And of course, you can check out my podcast, that's What a Scream, on Google, Spotify, Anchor, Apple, etc., etc. Thanks very much. Bye.